So, I can think of at least 2 ways to get your butt whooped to the point of near passing out or death. The first option, you could get your butt whooped by a giant derelict thug criminal, like in the case of Officer Darren Wilson.
Well, we know from the chief of the Ferguson Police Department that he was treated at a local hospital for swelling to his face and his head because of injuries received during the course of that arrest. Now there is information out that he was hit hard enough to break the bones around his eye. That information coming from the Gateway Pundit, reporting that the injury is an orbital blowout fracture to the eye socket.
He threw the first one and hit me in the left side of my face. I just felt the immense power that he had. I mean, the way I've described it is, it was like a 5-year-old holding on to Hulk Hogan. That's just how big this man was. Like this, and it comes in through the window and just a solid punch to the right side of my face. I mean, the next thing was, how do I survive? Because I didn't know.
How do you survive?
Yes, I didn't know if I'd be able to withstand another hit like that.
It just doesn't add up. I'll tell you what doesn't add up. These photos. Because I was expecting to see his face mangled. And I hear what he's saying, that he was afraid and this happened and that happened. But I always go back to the beginning. And the beginning is this. You got an armed man and an unarmed man. He doesn't even have a bruise, right? It's red. He's got a red mark. I don't see it.
Or the second option, you could get your butt whooped by the dedicated, honorable police who are sworn to uphold the Constitution and keep you free.
Please don't touch me. You're under arrest. Why am I under arrest?
First came the kick from a handcuffed suspect.
You kicked me.
Then the punch from police officer Adley Shepard. Seattle police released this in-car video. The woman, Mayoko Durden Bosley, says the blow broke an orbital bone. But Officer Shepard's attorney, Eric Makis, says his client did what he needed to.
This video shows a Sacramento County Sheriff's deputy standing over a man laying in the street. And then the officer forces the man's head against the ground with his foot and uses a flashlight to strike him repeatedly. The man on the ground is John Reyes.
I have a puncture wound.
He now has a gash in his forehead and a black eye.
How can I roll over when my body's twitching with 100,000 volts going through it?
Reyes admits he approached the officer to tell him that his patrol vehicle was blocking part of the intersection.
I asked him kindly to move the car. He glared at me and stared at me, and I said, in explicative, you need to move the car because I can't get through.
So there she is, obviously getting caught. She's in the small room, and out of nowhere, look at what the cop does. So you see a cop just punch.
Oh my God.
So that permanently damaged her right eye.
Michelle, it happened in broad daylight. In fact, there were witnesses who saw a woman being forcefully taken into custody by police for allegedly using her cell phone while driving. The pictures are graphic and disturbing. 34-year-old Michelle Jordan of Sunland, battered and bruised allegedly at the hands of 2 LAPD officers. The married mother of one who works as a registered nurse was pulled over last Tuesday on Foothill Boulevard and Saluda Street for a cell phone violation. She drove into this Del Taco parking lot, and what happened next was captured on the restaurant's surveillance camera. Watch as Jordan gets out of her vehicle. Moments later, she is slammed to the pavement and handcuffed. The officers pick her up, put her against the patrol car, and pat her down. About a minute and 40 seconds later, the 2 officers push her down to the ground a second time before pulling her up, putting her in the backseat of the cruiser, and citing her for resisting arrest. Jordan is not speaking to the media directly, but her story is being told through her attorneys. What they say is the most egregious, the celebratory gesture of a fist bump afterwards.
Question: when it's time to get your butt whooped, who would you rather have doing it? The giant derelict thug criminal, when you absolutely positively have to get your butt whooped by noon, accept no substitutions. I'm Don, the hard runner. Get knowledge.